Welcome back. Vintage is here to stay, and it is being celebrated in all forms of the Toronto Vintage Show this weekend. And here with me now are two entrepreneurs making their mark. Nik Bulajic, the co-owner of Vintagesoulgeek, and Carina Fato, the owner of Unvaulted Vintage. We'll start with you, Nik. What is it about vintage and vintage clothing and vintage jewelry that has staying power?
Well, I'm telling you, these items were made with quality in mind, first and foremost. And because of that, nowadays, you can find still good quality items, but they're so incredibly expensive. With vintage, you can still find something so beautiful and reasonably priced in such great quality.
Is that because we're in a throwaway type society now?
Yeah, this is actually a very green business. We didn't even realize it while we were doing it.
So tell me a little bit about this particular vintage dress.
This is a 1950s light blue chiffon party dress. Absolutely gorgeous, and it's perfect for prom season that's happening right now.
Is it relevant with today's style as well?
Well, this is more of a dress-up piece, you know what I mean? We do have plenty of pieces, though, that are much more wearable. Let me just grab one of these guys on this side, my apologies. So, we're talking some boho, this is 1960s fringe with some real python on it.
Put that on us.
Yeah, throw it on.
Might be a little snug, but
I think that would look, you'd look pretty good in that. Maybe this vest.
Vintage
Not
python.
bad. Yeah.
All right. And jewelry. Obviously, jewelry never goes out of style.
Oh my goodness, and at Vintagesoulgeek, we got you covered. This guy right here, this is a 1950s Sherman statement necklace, absolutely gorgeous. You can't get stuff like this nowadays unless you shop vintage.
All right, perfect. Karina, let's jump over to you. You've got vintage advertising as well.
Yes.
And I'm a little bit familiar with that because my wife and I antique, and we collect vintage photography advertisements or anything Schnauzer or Scotty dog related because it looks like a black Schnauzer. But tell me a little bit about what you have here.
Well, I have a small part of my collection from Unvaulted Vintage, and these are all, we like to call ourselves curator of the 20th century advertising and marketing. And we like to collect paper from 1901 all the way to 2000. So what we have here is the iconic Chanel ad, that's the bottle. Then, of course, the iconic Breakfast at Tiffany's with Audrey Hepburn. And then I thought I'd bring a pop of color here from the 1950s. And this color right now is really on trend. We supply a lot for private and stores.
And these are just from old magazines.
These
and
are
papers,
from
right?
old magazines, these are from pamphlets, these are from everything.
Traditionally made to be thrown out.
Made to be thrown out, yeah. Yeah, and well, we like to celebrate actually these unknown artists, because to me, I believe that these are art. They're all, you know, look at the styling, look at the colors.
Are wonderful.
And you know, here, if you're from Hamilton, you know, lifesavers. And I guess in Hamilton, they used to be the Lifesavers Parade.
Tell me about some of the value on these.
The value is anywhere from an original Chanel, you're looking at about $150. In the frame, maybe a little bit more, to some of them are only like $15, $18. So they're affordable wall art that you can actually accessorize your home and actually personalize in your own way rather than going to mass-produced in some of the big box stores.
All right, and how big is this weekend for both of you in terms of getting your vintage wares out there?
It's huge.
Absolutely massive.
Huge,
Yeah.
Massive.
Yeah.
Do you expect good crowds?
Oh yeah, it's Canada's largest vintage show. Over 125 different vendors. There's going to be thousands and thousands of people coming. The show starts Saturday at 10, Sunday at 10. Come early, guys. There's some serious shoppers.
Yeah.
Because there used to be the Christie Antique Show, 20 seconds, but it's no longer, so there's not as many opportunities for people to find this gold.
No, this is where all the vendors in Ontario roll out their best.
All right, perfect. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Appreciate your time. This stuff is beautiful. It's great.
Thanks.